What is the thing that out-of-control teenagers mostly accomplish? Tearing families apart. Is the U.S. family in the middle of a crisis with teenagers? Is the Republican Party the party of juveniles? One in particular being a juvenile delinquent. Anyone who's ever been on vacation with a moody teenager knows what real misery is. In their minds, they are in a bad way, and they want everyone to know about it. They don't want to suffer alone. But that isn't the only problem with teenagers, just the most famous one. Middle schoolers might not get the press that the stereotypical high school girl gets, but they create a lot of havoc on their own. What is the numero uno, the killer problem with middle schoolers? Children are completely self-centered. Everything is about what they want. An 8-year-old pitching a fit is a terrible thing to say. Empathy, optimism, not what adolescents have in mind. They want this. Middle schoolers haven't grown out of it, they've just gotten taller. My way or else. Here are 5 reasons teenagers aren't adults. They're still children. They are emotionally based. Adults are rationally based, or at least supposed to be. Their minds are still devoted to themselves. Adolescents' only experience is childhood. They have to learn to emulate adults to be adults. Some get stuck in place because they have no adult role models. Some are just permanently selfish. Teenagers want to be in the cool group, independent from their parents. They lie. In my day, middle school was junior high, and everybody hated junior high, believe me. And we differentiated between junior high kids and high school kids based on their behavior, not their age. Every 8th grader wanted to be a high schooler. Some never left 7th grade. There are no more moderates in middle school than there are on the Republican side of Congress. My way or the highway. In high school, most raise their game and begin to become adults. Some never get out of 7th grade. One of the hallmarks moving from childhood to adulthood is the growth of empathy. Ever met a teen with a lot of empathy? Isn't this what's happening in the U.S.? We're being torn apart by people who want it all and don't even know what they want. Ask them. 2 months ago, they said, this is a demand, not a negotiation. Sound familiar? When they get what they want, they don't even want it. They want more. Would you put up with that from a 5-year-old in a restaurant? I know you would. You were sitting next to me in the restaurant last night. No, Republicans are more like middle school bullies. They throw their weight around. The thing is, they seem a lot more than they actually are. Trump's pack is not very big. They are not the majority of the country. They're not even the majority of the GOP. We have found out what we should have found out in school. It doesn't take many to make everything hell. In middle school, they can run things. But when they get to high school, it gets a lot harder. Do these pictures make you think of adults? Sorry, Christians, but not everybody sees the world the way you do. Depending on Daddy, Trump is infantile. Angry adolescents simply want the house to burn. Adolescents blame other people a lot. Teenagers don't respect anyone. It's not their fault, honestly. They're trying to grow up. They're testing themselves. They are also testing their wings, but not realizing what they're doing. What are they going to compare it with? Childhood? Some children are so insecure for so many reasons they fall prey to their own worst instincts. One of them is looking down on younger children. In Trump's case, it's unique. He's an 8-year-old throwing fits, and middle school bullies are egging him on. They somehow have replaced the jock and the all-American girl as symbols. With this group of assholes? These assholes are the cool kids now? Is this a bad version of a 1950s biker movie? Punching down. Teenagers put pressure on everyone around them, but especially the weaker people, and they are experts at identifying the weaker, calling them names, hitting, hurting for no other reasons than trying to crush their souls. What do you call a child who commits crimes and blames everyone else? A juvenile delinquent, not Mr. President. What happens when children raise children? Their children struggle at being adults. Those people who never got out of 7th grade, they had children who had children who never got out of the 7th grade. Children raise children. How does a rebellious teenager raise children if they never grow beyond being mad at everyone? How do their children escape? Respect is not big on teenagers' list. This is a big one. Most of you watching this watch the news. Not like I do. I hope not as I do. There's no cure. But it doesn't take much news watching to see that there is a real lack of respect in the political world. Let me take this moment for a sidebar. The political world is the real world, not the one that's made up in Republicans' minds. Want to know why the adults in the GOP are not taking control? The children in the back seat are terrorists. They will not get out of the back seat of the car. They will not eat after you drag them into the restaurant. They'll make a scene. Then they'll flatten all the tires. This is the unreal world we are living in. Praise Jesus. Juveniles hold grudges. They get payback. Adults get beyond this behavior because they have to work with other people. If you cross the gang leader, you're out. In some gangs, it's a death sentence. In the Republican Party, it's the end of your career. Possibly the end of family ties, church. You get kicked out, then shunned. This is what happens when in junior high, someone named Butch runs the place. How do you punish rebellious teenagers when they won't listen? Is it possible that Donald won't eat his vegetables and there's nothing we can do about it? Children see the world through only their eye. Over time, they learn to stop saying what they want and start asking what others want. They see the world through the eyes of others. This is the difference between children and adults. Some children never grow beyond I want. They never grow up. The Republican Party is beholden to the base, and the base is a bunch of angry, dumb adolescents who are controlling the entire family from the back seat of the car. The trip is awful and a disappointment to everyone in the national car. The worried parents are helpless. What's the number one thing that adults do that children don't? Adults don't pay attention to what children say. If they had anything of value to contribute, they wouldn't be children. They'd be adults. Can the GOP grow up? I don't know. I doubt it. Because another thing teenagers really hate to do is admit they're wrong. Another thing some people never grow into: adults. Adults don't cater to juvenile delinquents. They put them in jail.